Okay, Motown for the acoustic guitar, you can't beat it. This is the Temptations' My Girl, arranged for acoustic guitar and voice. We're going to start off with the great introduction, which is simply, for those of you who understand this stuff, a pentatonic scale. It doesn't matter if you don't understand, it makes no difference. But it sounds like this. You can play it either twice or 4 times for the introduction. It's a G chord, but it's a scale within a G chord shape. It's the 6th string 3rd fret, and then the 5th string open to 2nd fret, then the 4th string open to 2nd fret, and the 3rd string open. In the rhythm, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'm following the song sheet as we're playing this. The tab, those of you who know me well know my feeling about trying to learn strummed songs, which this will be in a moment, from tab. It's kind of like trying to recreate a Leonardo da Vinci painting using paint by numbers. So the song sheet is better, and I'll show you the strum pattern as we go through. But that intro riff, maybe the tab helps you for that, but there it is. 2 times or 4 times, and then we're into the song proper. As you finish the final riff, I got, and on the word sunshine, we're into the first chord. It's a G chord, and we're going to pick the bass end of the chord. This is one of the things I mean about the tab. The tab says pick the 6th string, but actually anywhere on the bass end of the chord is fine. We're going to go bass, slap. Now slap is a down strum where this part of your right hand hits the strings in advance of the pick. Like that, so that your pick hits dead strings. It's hitting around the middle of the strings. It doesn't need to get everything, and it gets dead strings. If you find that technique a real problem, just play that as a down strum. But that creates a percussive sound to the track which works well, and you'll follow it with up, bass, up, down, up. So you'll go bass. Bass, remember, is always just somewhere around the bass end of the chord. Bass, slap, up. Bass, up, down, up. If the bass is a problem for you, substitute for the bass a down strum. If the slap is a problem for you, substitute a down strum for that. Now we're going to alternate 1 time around that pattern with a C chord, and you could play any kind of C chord you like, but it works particularly well with a normal C shape plus the fingers staying on the 1st string 3rd fret. And the strum pattern will be the same. Bass end of a C chord is around the 5th string. So bass, slap, up, bass, up, down, up. And repeat again, G to C. And that's your first line. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. And you'll repeat it as we go to line 2. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Well, now we'll change the strum pattern a little bit. We're going to go from G to A minor. G will go bass, down, up. And each of the subsequent chords will do the same thing. A minor, bass, down, up. Bass of an A minor is around the 5th string. Same for a C. And a D, same thing really. Anywhere around the middle of the chord. Avoid the 6th string on a D chord. I have the thumb resting on the 6th string and killing it. So you get, I guess you'd say, and then repeat. What can make me feel this way? Now another change of strum pattern. On the G chord of the refrain line, My Girl, will go bass, 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 but make sure the bass really does get more than just 1 string. So the low end of the chord. Bass, 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 and again, bass, bass, bass. A minor, do that pattern 1 time, on a D chord, pick the D string, the fourth string, open twice and then stop it after the second time. And we'll follow it with the A string, which is the fifth string, open, and the fourth string open twice each. Here's that line with the rhythm. Well, I'll do it with the vocal first and then I'll come back and do it with the rhythm. My girl, talking about my girl. And the next thing would be to land back on G again for the second verse, which means, by the way, that you'll be singing over the A and D bass notes. I got, so that you land on the G chord for so much honey. Okay, the rhythm for that one. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now you're into verse 2. And you'll play that the same way you played verse 1. After verse 2, we go back to the intro riff. So we'll come from the end of line 2, the end of verse 2, and we have this. My girl, talking about my girl. You seeing that? That's just like the original intro. This time just do it twice, and then we go into the bridge, which is an instrumental on the original recording. We're going to go from G to C twice, just as we did at the beginning of each verse. C, G, C. Then we'll play A minor 7, which is a C chord, but without the fifth string note, and the same pattern, and then D7. D7 acts like D, so anywhere around the middle of the chord is fine. I actually try and pick the bass note in the instrumental section. B minor 7, which is a B minor chord, bar of the second fret, A minor shape in front of the bar, take the little finger away, that's B minor 7, fifth string is your bass note, E, but on E we'll simply do 3 down strums of the high strings 3 times. Like that. So the second half of the bridge is going. I don't need. Now something very cool has happened during the course of that bridge. We have modulated from the key of G into the key of A. So that move A minor 7 and D7 are still within the key of G, but that B minor 7 belongs to both keys, and that allows us to set up the next chord E, which does not belong in the key of G, but does belong in the key of A. So it sets up the move to the key of A, which is wonderful for the third verse. Now, the strum patterns will be exactly the same, but the chords change. Where we were playing G and C, we're now going to play A and D. I don't need no money, fortune or fame. And then repeat. I got all the riches, baby, one man can't claim. Now we want the strum pattern, do you remember, that goes bass, down, up, and then changes to the next chord and goes bass, down, up. This time the chords will be A, B minor, 5th string bass, D, and E, 6th string bass. I guess you'd say. Again, don't worry about being too precise with the bass notes, anywhere in the area will be fine. Repeat that sequence. What can make me feel this way? And the same strum pattern for the refrain line. Bass, 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 bass. My girl, talking about my girl. want to, you can play an E chord and keep that bass strum pattern going. But there's a thing on the Temptations record that works very well with a descending bass run that goes. And if you want to replicate that, it's on your tab, but I can show you here too. It's the 4th string 2nd fret, play it twice, open 4th string twice, 5th string 4th fret twice, 5th string 2nd fret twice, and now you're back to an A chord again for the outro. I got sunshine on a cloudy day, where you're playing the same normal strum pattern again. So that refrain line with the descending bass would go, my girl, talking about my girl, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you're into, I got sunshine, the bit we just looked at. That will be 2 bars of A. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. 2 bars of B minor. 1 bar of B minor. And 1 bar of E, which can either be the same pattern, even got the month of May, or it can be the descending bass again. Even got the month of May, my girl, yeah. That's 2 bars, A, B minor again, my girl. And so the song is finishing on that outro for both times. 2 bars of A, 1 bar B minor, 1 bar E, either strummed or with descending bass. And you can finish on that second time, talking about my girl. If you do the descending bass, slowing down, and 1 strum of A would finish the song, or if you're strumming that E chord, my girl, strum pattern, slowing down, and 1 strum of A to finish the song. And that's it, that is the Temptations' My Girl.